Hey, it's Madeleine. Happy Lunar New Year! Gung hei fa choi, Sunin Fai Lok. I hope I end up editing this in time, but in my defense, I'm filming this on New Year's. So I kinda want to cry right now. For some reason, the last half of the video recording died on me, and of course it was the part where I had a lot of the interesting coloring. Procreate has never failed me until now, and I have no clue what happened. It really sucks, but I hope you'll stay and hang out with me while I yap about the part of the design that never ended up happening. Oh, they're clicking off? Damn, okay. Well, if anyone's still here, you're a real one. Love ya. So on that bittersweet note, let's get into the video. For those of you who don't know, it's the year of the snake, specifically the wood snake. Today I wanted to reimagine the zodiac as a fantasy council. The zodiac cycle is a circle, and tables can also be circles? I don't know, but it kind of reminded me of the Knights of the Round Table, so each zodiac will be a member of the council. I know I should start with the rat since it's the first in the cycle, but I actually think beginning with the snake will make much more sense. One, because it's the new year, but also starting with the snake and ending with the dragon feels narratively satisfying. I'll explain why later. In Chinese mythology, snakes are intelligent, intuitive, and strategic. They are known for being calm, collected, and goal-oriented. But they can be cautious, skeptical, and stubborn, with a streak of overconfidence. They can be materialistic. They are also great researchers and speakers. As a character, this would mean she loves games, puzzles, and definitely has a competitive streak. To show her strategic mind, what better thing would there be to show her playing chess, the queen in her hand? She has this really expensive-looking green marble chess set, and I think you can tell she's lonely when she starts playing a game with herself. I think she would be the one to take Monopoly a little too seriously, and during the council family game nights, some members may or may not have been threatened. I will admit I am guilty of this trait, and I get pretty volatile when playing Uno. Another popular game in China is Mahjong. I love playing with my family, but most people gamble with it. I think in a modern AU, she's the owner of a gambling parlor that rakes in a lot of money, or a famous dancer because she's really flexible. I wanted to give her a mysterious, alluring energy. For me, snakes are some of the coolest animals. Whenever I go to a zoo or something, I'm always so captivated by them. The way they move and the look is so interesting, and I think that's why snakes show up in so many cultures and media. In Western mythology, snakes often represent evil and temptation, but in Chinese mythology, none of the zodiac animals are inherently good or bad. Even though she's a snake, she's not some kind of villain. I think that all animals have some sort of darker side to them, and hers would be greed and a little arrogance. The story behind the zodiac is that the Jade Emperor held a great race for all the animals on his birthday. The first 12 to cross the finish line would become the zodiac in the order they placed. The snake? She snuck up on the horse and spooked it, causing it to lose its spot. The snake slithered ahead and claimed 6th place, while the horse took 7th. I imagine there's still some resentment between them, maybe a little bad blood. I'll put a link to the full story down below. This means she got her place through cunning and trickery, making her as morally gray as Pantone 4402. The snake version of her is this nice spring green with these brown spots that progressively get more red to separate her from the other snakes. If I wanted to do more content with the Zodiac Council, I really want to do that audio with Thor and Loki, where Loki turns into the snake and stabs him. For her color palette, since she's a wood snake, I wanted the colors to be really misty blues and greens, like a forest covered in fog in the dead of night. The Chinese zodiac has certain colors attributed to them, but when I googled what they were, I was absolutely devastated when I saw the snake's colors were black, red, and gold. I love this color palette, but when I think of snakes, I think more cool blues and greens. Red is too fiery, too obvious. That's when I remembered I can do whatever I want, and she can be green and blue if I want to, so yeah. Green is such a pretty color, and if it were a person, it would be the most mysterious, maybe second to blue. I still want to incorporate more of those ruby tones in her eyes and dagger as a nice pop of something different. The handle of her golden dagger has 2 red snakes coiled around it, and I really like how it came out. I think for my story, when all the animals became the zodiac, the Jade Emperor gave them all immortality and a special gift to show his favor. The dagger releases these golden spores or particles that put those surrounding it to sleep. To represent its dual use, it can be used to give people rest and sweet dreams, or visions from Snake herself. It can also be used to give terrible nightmares that can make even the strongest warriors jump at the slightest shadow. This was inspired by me literally saying she wakes up early and goes to bed late in her bio, and wondering why she doesn't get much sleep. Maybe she trained herself to resist her own powers, and now she can't sleep for very long. I think she's someone who hates seeing people around her suffer, so she visits hospitals or battlegrounds to give the sick and wounded a peaceful dream before they die. Maybe a vision of their family or a flower field where they can run through the grass without pain. Even though the council is immortal, I think they would all appear as different ages to give it some variety. As for her appearance, I designed her younger looking than most council members. While they all appear as different ages, I like the idea that she chose a younger form to match her personality. Canonically, her human form is 25 because it's 2025. Get it? Happy New Year, everybody! I hope your January has been good, and I wish you luck for the rest of the year. For the silhouette, I was really inspired by saris and how they wrap around and drape really nicely. Like, look how pretty this is. The piece of fabric that wraps around her is super shimmery, kind of liquid-looking fabric. It's like how snakes shed their skin, so I made it this more holographic silvery color. As a member of the council, she represents transformation, and she might be the one who uses that power the most, regularly wandering into human villages in different forms. She's like the one who says she doesn't care about those stupid little humans, but still goes and checks on them to make sure they're alright. To include more of the snake part, I put these embroidered golden scales all over the fabric that would look so pretty in the sunlight. The rest of the main outfit is this nice forest green silk, with bits of blue and brown for this light look despite the dark colors. I really love these runway looks, and I really was inspired by their ethereal appearance. Her hair is this nice bright white to contrast with the dark outfit. It's also because the legend of the white snake is one of China's 4 great folktales. It's a story of a snake spirit and a human man that fall in love. It's really cute and wholesome for a while, and they open a medicine shop together, but it ends like how most love stories end, tragically. When she tells him that she's a snake, he literally dies of shock. Obviously, I'm really skipping over a lot of stuff, but it's a cool tale. I'm not saying it's the same snake, but I think to tie it into the grand web of this story, I think the white snake, whose name is Bai Shu Zhen, by the way, prays the snake to turn into a human so she can be with Zhu Xian, the scholar that falls in love with her. Since the snake represents transformation, she agrees, and you know the rest. It's kind of like the Little Mermaid, but our wonderful girl is no Ursula. Another thing that snakes represent is harvest, so I added some stalks of rice, which are a staple all over the world. I think she's a little similar to the Greek goddess Demeter in the way she can grant a bountiful crop or turn a land barren and dead in the blink of an eye. She loves feeding people, which is a very common trait in all my grandparents, and her softer side definitely dotes on the people she loves. She also has a string of coins to represent her massive wealth. Girls got money, I'll tell you that. I think when the Zodiac have to meet all together, they go up to the heavens to discuss important things. However, I think they all have their own domains and lands on Earth because that's where most of them are comfortable since it's where they originated. The only one that doesn't live on Earth is the dragon because he's the only supernatural animal on the list. I think he flies around the skies and travels from place to place. Snake lives right here. I saw this picture and I knew it was perfect. Like, damn, waking up to this would be amazing. The rice forms are more natural and I kinda like how they look like snakes. You see the vision, right? She has this riverside palace with tons of natural sunlight and big windows because snakes are cold-blooded. Maybe a bamboo forest and a spooky entrance. I was really inspired by Hindu architecture, this temple I visited last year. I love its use of repeating patterns and statues. I think if I could live anywhere, it would be there. It was amazing. It's called the BAPS Mandir in Robbinsville, New Jersey, and you should definitely go visit. It was so beautiful, it looked like a palace. Since the snake and the dragon are a little similar, I think she would have the tendency to hoard shiny things, and underneath the castle, there would be this huge treasure cave. So anyway, time for the lore, dramatic title screen. This is, maybe, the moment you were waiting for. Okay, some lore for the lore. I went to a paper cutting class recently. It was really fun, by the way. I'll put the link down below. You should definitely check it out if you're in the area. The teacher was giving a short lesson on the year of the snake, and I learned so many things I didn't know before. First is that the dragon zodiac was specifically reserved for the emperor, but since snakes and dragons are so similar, the higher-ranking nobles or advisors were called snakes. I think it's so funny to me because in a Western movie, an advisor or noble named Snake that served the king would be the most obvious villain, but that's not the case. This means that Snake has a ton of influence with the Jade Emperor, and it would be pretty interesting to see how that will turn out. Secondly, according to the mythology, the snake was the prototype for the dragon. I didn't even know that, but I was always wondering why they are sometimes depicted more dragon-like, or closer looking to a viper. This means the dragon is just a snake without any of her flaws. Lore-wise, this makes the sickest character dynamic ever. Hello? Like, come on. This would mean she's older than the dragon, so they would have a jealous older sibling, perfect younger sibling vibe. Maybe the dragon feels bad, or maybe he's chill with it. That's for future me to decide, but please leave any ideas in the comments. In terms of the story, she would be pretty resentful towards Dragon, and only helps him if it's in line with her wants. I also think that means that some Zodiacs would support her, and others would support the dragon, while others try to remain neutral. A Zodiac civil war? Yes, please. When she's playing chess, roaming her palace grounds, or walking through fields of rice, I think she would want to wear something more comfortable, like the god equivalent of some sweatpants and a t-shirt, which to be fair is still way more extravagant. It's this gorgeous pale green color that just looks so good on her. I really wish you guys could see the process of me drawing this, because it was so fun. Her jealousy of the dragon's more royal status would make her want to look as decked out and extravagant as possible. She has golden accessories galore, a snake tiara, armbands, cuffs, and a belt. What doesn't she have? Oh right, a therapist. Girl, no amount of jewelry is gonna fix your trauma. Instead of planning elaborate revenge plots, maybe go to therapy. You don't have Gucci bags, you have eye bags, get some sleep. I just love torturing my OCs.
That's a lot of damage!
In her palace, she probably has a whole floor dedicated to her clothes. Or maybe since she's a deity, she can just magic up some clothes. Either one, but even though I only drew her in 2 outfits, I really want to draw some more. I have so many ideas for the other Zodiacs, but this video took ages. The drawing itself took more than 11 hours. So if you liked it, please like and subscribe. If you made it this far, comment the snake emoji. For this label thingy, I added some moons because it's the Lunar New Year, based on the lunar calendar, and I'll probably reuse these for the others. I really wanted to have that kind of potion bottle vibe, and I think I achieved that. I stupidly didn't use the symmetry tool, so the lines look a little bit wonky, but you can barely tell. It was around this point I was reaching the Procreate layer capacity because I just had so many things going on, just to put into perspective how long this took. Her Chinese name is just Snake. Wow, so creative, but it felt weird to make it anything else because in the story, they're only called by their animal name. For her English name, it'll be open for you all to suggest, and I'll pick a name in the next video. Who knows when that will be, but it'll happen, I promise. You can pause to read the little descriptor, and with that, that's the finished character sheet. Thanks so much for watching, and sorry again for the lost footage. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I'm so happy. Thank you for all your support, and love you all from the bottom of my heart.